Speaking of shock factor, bro, we're talking about this, right? You gotta be careful how we say this shit. Yeah, gotta be careful how we say this shit. So, obviously, we've talked about before, right? The people that transition to, the pancakes, bro. Transition from gender to gender.
Optimus Prime,
Bumblebee,
Bumblebee,
yeah, the Transformers, right? The people that decide
I can transform like Optimus Prime.
That just press a button in their forehead and now
I can transform you.
They switch.
Transform you.
Those motherfuckers, right? You. Respect you. Do what you want to do.
Yeah,
always been back and forth, right? About entering the opposite gender sport, and the last one we talked about was Leah Thompson, the swimmer, right?
Swimmer, yeah.
Yeah, so now
balls popped out or something.
Crazy, bro. Well, even in the UFC, I forget.
Fallon Fox.
Yeah, bro. Literally fractured a fucking woman's face, right? Anyways, just broke her face.
Wasn't that fucking sweet?
So, anyways, now it's moving towards boxing. So, in 2024, the USA Boxing will allow Transformer women to fight against female boxers under certain conditions starting today in 2024. So I want to know you guys' thoughts.
Yeah.
Because I think we're all kind of similar, but Lucas, kick it off, please.
Bro,
what do you think?
So I think it's so stupid that this is even still a thing, and I can't believe for the life of me boxing, like professional boxing leaning into this thing, especially being that's not even really like an American, like really branded thing. It's more like international.
Is it?
Yeah, like in a lot of Hispanic places, yeah.
Oh yeah. But isn't it like
no, it's here, but I mean their audience is in places where that shit ain't gonna fucking fly. You know what I mean? And like Latin America and stuff like that, like
yeah, they ain't fucking with that.
They're not fucking with that, bro. You know what I mean? And I think that's where a majority of their viewers actually are. Don't get me wrong; it's popular in the States, but it's boxing way more popular elsewhere.
Yeah,
I think, you know what I mean? Because here, I think UFC is probably more of a dominating.
Yeah, it's more exciting, bro. It's more exciting to watch.
You know,
boxing it's always had a history, and just like legacies and.
Well, and I grew up with it. My dad was a boxer. He loved watching boxing, and so I watched boxing with him. You know what I mean? So like I grew up with it, but that's why I know that it wasn't that popular because no one else I fucking knew was watching boxing. Yeah. I was like, oh yeah, you saw the fucking Mayweather fight or fucking you know what I mean? No.
Yeah. What do you think? Why do you think they did that?
Here's my thing. I don't care if you are a guy, a girl, you want to be a guy, you want to be a girl, what you're born as. Truthfully, whatever the fuck you want to be in this world today, cool, be it. Yeah. Have at it.
Yeah.
My problem is let's look at the actual, like, the sport itself and like the fairness of it. Like, let's be real.
Right.
Okay? Let's look at males. Let's look at females. Men are naturally bigger, faster, stronger, everything.
Well, no,
okay?
We can sum that up quicker.
Yeah.
Why was there a female boxing league anyway?
Yeah.
Why was that fucking there?
Yeah.
Why didn't they just fight versus the fucking guys?
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah.
Why are we bringing guys now into the female boxing?
Yeah. Well, and like you make a good point there. Like, look at the physical principle. Like, there's a reason why girls fight girls and guys fight fucking guys.
Right.
And I guess like here's my part of it is, okay, when you'll see a transformer that will start to say feel a certain way. I am a female. That's what they go by now. I am a female. I should be allowed to, fight in this, whatever. Like, I guess where my biggest problem is these people that are putting themselves in these situations, when you sign up for this and want to make this change and identify as someone else, you have to understand some of the shit that comes along with it. It's not going to be all fucking rainbows and butterflies. And I'm sorry, you're doing something that's outside of the fucking normal. And I guess when it comes to sports, to me, I just look at like the physical nature of like a sport. Like, okay, men are naturally bigger, faster, stronger, for example. So when it comes to a contact sport like UFC, combat sports, boxing, football, even basketball. Honestly, like all the sports today are pretty physical. Even like
anything physically demanding. Period.
Like even NBA has gotten extremely physical. You know, so I don't know, man. It just like I feel that like when they do things like this, it opens up the door for just a handful of fucking issues and problems. And as I said, it goes back to the very beginning. I don't care what you want to be in life. You want to identify as this, that, and whatever. Cool. Like we all have a right to be who we want, but it's a whole nother thing when you're trying to identify as something that you were not naturally born as, and you're trying to, go into a league of something that is identified, as you said, men's and women.
Yeah, right.
Like they put these two leagues separate because they're not equal.
Right.
If they're not equal, that doesn't
we don't have lightweights fighting heavyweights for a fucking reason.
Exactly.
The thing is too, bro, is like let's just stick to boxing, right? No, that's maybe harder. Like let's just say basketball, right? The 15th person on that roster. If you put them against number one in the entire league of WNBA, well, they're running circles. Yeah, it is what it is.
Well, you seen the Dave Chappelle joke where he talks about he's like, should we let LeBron turn female? And now that he's transformed, he scores 864 points a game.
That's what I'm saying. But like every single time we've heard of this, the male that decides to transform, right, is undisputably dominant in whatever it is. In swimming, I've seen there's some in weightlifting where it's just like, oh yeah, this person broke every single record. No shit. Yeah, right. Of course. And I just think it's the same way. So it's like, I feel like if this started happening and the male that transformed into a woman and did that was like an average or even below average athlete, I don't even think it'd be that big of a deal. But every single time that happens, whether they're dominant, and I think that's the part where it's like,
well, dude, and it comes to a fucking safety issue as well,
bro. So the dude broke the girl's face, bro. Like, that should have been Dana should have been like, all right, bro, this is. I believe you for sure, but like, I have to pay for this woman's reconstructive surgery on her face for the rest of her fucking life. Yeah, like that's like, you know what I mean? And when I want to fucking do it, I go to jail. Like it's fucked up, That's Nah, cut that shit. No, I don't know. I just think it's like now. Do you? I don't know, bro. Like, I don't see any average, like, again, 15th person roster guy doing that. It's always some guy that's, well, I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say that. Because if they're going to that league, they're probably not getting any shot in the male league. Which is probably why they're like, oh, I can come over here and be dominant. Yeah. You think it's more of that? Or it's just like more the feeling of like, oh, you know what? Like,
I hope it's the first one. Because the two reasons why a biological man who has transitioned into or has transformed into a female would want to compete with only females, there's only two logical explanations for that. Either A, they want to have the competitive advantage, or B, they just want to feel that they are so much more aligned with that thing. I hope it's the first one because the other one sounds like they're absolutely fucking delusional. Yeah, that's how I feel about it.
Do you think that they're in any of these cases? It's a man, right? Who's like separate themselves from everything. It's just I'm feeling like a woman, so because I am in the NBA, because I feel like I'm a woman, I am gonna play in the WNBA. Do you think it's any cases that are that?
Yes.
Yeah.
I do feel like that happens. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah, I don't.
But I do. Yeah. I mean, listen, our world is fucking filled with people who think they're fucking all kinds of different things. Yeah. So I believe that there's someone out there that genuinely believes that they are what they are not. And so
I believe that.
Yeah. Okay, I thought that's what you meant. But there's also times where people are doing it just to have that competitive advantage. And in fact, there was a bodybuilder who I love that he did this, by the way. So a previous female bodybuilder had a record set for some like bench, I don't know, bench or fucking deadlift something. Yeah. She's only beat by a transformer who came into the league for whatever reasons. That record has now been beat by a guy who is holding the men's fucking heavyweight lifting. He came in as the transformer just to fucking shit on that dude's record.
Really?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, so that's cool.
Yeah, that's some gangster shit, bro.
That's fine.
He said, fuck you. You still don't got it.
Yeah, you couldn't do it.
I don't know, man.
Yeah, right.
I feel it's just cheap, bro.
I just feel there should be like some unwritten rules where it's like, hey, if you put yourself, or if this is what you choose in life to be, there's some general things that come along with it. And I wish people had more of the decency of just being like, okay, hey, like, this is like unfair. Like, I'm obviously going to be dominant, in this, but it's like, I don't know. It's like, it's just people who want to feel a certain way, have a sense of accomplishment or something. I don't know.
Well, I think what's going to end up happening is that they're going to have to use an entirely new metric in order to, for lack of a better term, segregate female versus male. So like, for example, and I'm not saying this is a good way of doing it, but you have to like arm wrestle a machine. And if you're X amount of power, you're in the men's league. If you're under X amount of power, you're on the women's league. Something like that. Just
a unisex bathroom for sports.
Right, bro.
Bro, because think about it, right? Like, let's just say I have two thoughts. The first one is like, okay, let's just make a transgender league. Guess what? It's going to be all male.
Yeah.
So it's the same fucking thing. Have you heard of any that go the other way?
That's actually fucking, that's brilliant. I love it.
It's gonna be the same fucking thing.
This is how we're gonna be rich. We're starting transgender sports.
Yeah.
Fucking do
Transformer.
it, bro.
Transformer Sports.
Transformer Sports.
Beat that shit, bro.
Yeah. It's gonna be a fucking the logo is gonna be fucking Bumblebee.
And Optimus Prime.
Bumblebee and fucking Optimus Prime.
Yeah. Fuck it, bro. It is what it is. Hey, but hey, I mean, I don't think that's a W for you, but if you knock out all the girls, go ahead.
Yeah.
Oh, but my next thought, and then we'll move on. It's interesting that this is happening in boxing, bro, because at least from I've never been like a huge fan, right? But boxing, I feel like has already been taking a hit because of all the YouTube stuff that's happening. So do you think that this?
Wait, what do you mean?
Well, like, how some people are kind of like losing respect. I feel like people are moving towards watching UFC, probably because there's more carnage, but because they feel like the sport's being watered down because of
Logan Paul.
Yeah, like all the YouTube stuff and like the celebrity shit that kind of devalues what it is to like.
I feel like that
be
helped
a boxer.
it, to be honest.
I think it helped more them. I don't think it brought new fans to watch.
Oh, I
Canelo
definitely
and
think
shit.
it did. Yeah, I definitely think it did.
Really?
Yeah, I definitely think it did. In America, for American audiences, 100%, I think it helped.
Yeah.
But I think if you watch KSI and Logan Paul, like I don't think you're gonna be like, oh man, Canelo's fighting next week. I don't see that.
Bridging the gap.
Yeah.
I can respect that. Yeah, I can respect that.
I feel there's levels to like these like YouTube boxers and shit. So like Jake Paul was the first one who kind of branched into this.
Oh yeah, Jake.
100%. I will say out the gates, it was a straight YouTube boxing event. It was about the money. It was about 100%. The draw. It was about the pay-per-view. It was about pure entertainment. Mm-hmm. I don't care if you like Jake Paul, hate Jake Paul.
He's a brilliant
boxing,
marketer.
Whatever. Yeah. Jake Paul has now taken this to a whole nother level. Jake Paul has been training his ass off now for actually quite a few years. I feel that he has, he still hasn't obviously, I still don't feel that he's proven to America that he's this professional boxer can fight at that level. But I say he's moving in the right direction.
I want to see him fight Tyson Fury.
And he's actually fucking. He's actually super talented.
Yeah, he's doing shit. But that's what I'm saying. So like, the people that watch him and are watching him, I don't think are gonna start watching.
But I think there's naturally going to be a rescission rate, right? And so I would agree that a majority of the people that watch like a Jake Paul fight aren't going to just watch a Canelo versus whoever fight. Yeah. But there's some that will.
Yeah.
There's some that are like, wow, boxing is dope.
Yeah.
All right, good.
That's what I was about going to say is, so like what it is like, the quality of boxing with some of these YouTubers is obviously not at a Canelo level, Gervonta Davis kind of level, like shit like that. But what I can say is for the sport itself, it's bringing a whole new energy and a wave of audience. And I think Lucas makes a really good point is, you look at like, years back, you had Pacquiao, you had like Mayweather. Mm-hmm. That was when boxing was the last time boxing was honestly like hella popular and relevant. Yeah. was the Pacquiao and the Mayweather days.
Agreed.
When Mayweather retired, Pacquiao retired, there was this kind of like lull in like boxing. Yeah. Showtime was still hurting. Showtime is still actually hurting.
Yeah, right.
And that's where I feel it's kind of interesting right now. You got this wave of, it's not high quality boxing. They're not, necessarily professionals, all of them. I feel Jake's by far the most talented of any of them, but it's bridging this gap of fucking audiences. And I think in the long run, we'll look back at this time of like these like YouTube boxers and what Jake is doing right now, and I think it's going to be super beneficial to the league. I'm trying to think here.
Yeah.
Okay, so I guess like I feel is like we're gonna like boxing as a sport. I feel is starting to get a lot more hype. We have some younger blood in there. Ryan Garcia and Gervonta Davis fought last year. That was like one of like the biggest fights in I don't know how many fucking years. You got this whole wave of like YouTube boxers, and as I was saying, yes, it's not at a professional level that you have people like Gervonta and Ryan Garcia, some of these guys. But I think the biggest thing it's doing for the sport of boxing, it's bringing in a new audience that would not be watching them if it wasn't for people like Jake coming into the picture
100%.
and bringing this like energy and excitement to the sport.
Yeah, I agree.
And regardless, I mean, I hope Jake proves all these fuckers wrong, and 2, 3, 4 years from now, he does have some big fights with some of these big names. Like, I don't know if he'll ever get in front of Canelo, but I would love to see him honestly with like some of these big names in fucking boxing.
Tyson Fury.
Because that's when it all comes together, man. And just like, damn, like, look what this motherfucker did for boxing. Like, he brought new energy, new excitement. All these YouTube fucking fanatics, all these people. Like, Jake Paul's young, bro. He's been doing YouTube since he was 14, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
He's now mid-20s, late 20s. Like, he's got a big fucking fan base and a whole new wave of people that could be coming in the sport of boxing and supporting it.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't even think I think if he just keeps on this trail, I don't even think he really needs to fight any of these big dudes. Because once he does that, then it's kind of over, right? This whole ride is like, so it's like, why not?
Yeah.
Unless he's winning, I think that's the gamble that he takes. Because as soon as he loses to Tyson Fury, no one's ever going to take him seriously.
It's over,
You know what I mean? Or anyone big in general. But I think if he wins and he's changing the game and he gets a heavyweight title or some shit like that, I mean, then he's really taking it to a new level. But it's a gamble.
Yeah,
right.
But I think either way, he's fucking brilliant for what he's already accomplished.
Like,
from a marketing perspective.
I think it's hilarious when people are like talking fucking bad on him, because it's like, dude, like, this guy's living his fucking dream. Like, he's hella passionate about the sport of boxing. He's putting on these big ass fucking events that are doing more pay-per-view numbers and bringing in more money than a lot of these big ass fucking fighters.
But the thing is
crazy.
He doesn't mind the people talking about it.
Yeah.
It's the Kanye approach. It's
Yeah.
at least they're talking about me.
He loves that.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. The fuck Jake Paul.
Right,
Fuck Jake Paul. He loves that shit.
Yeah.
Hey, if you guys like that last clip, make sure you guys go to our channel. We got tons more. Fuck! Listen up, guys. If you like that clip, make sure to go check out our page for all our other clips, posted daily and full videos.
You like that shit?